Hey everyone, Norm from Tested here at DesignerCon 2019, and it's a great opportunity for me to meet one of the artists I admire. This is Reina Koyano. Reina, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, absolutely. And if people who may not know your work, you do a series of art prints called Sole Fatale. They're all in the series. You combine pinup art with sneaker culture.
Yes.
So how did this idea come to be?
So I was talking to a bunch of sneakerheads, and when they told me their stories of their quest of like getting their dream shoes, it almost sounded like it was a story of a man going after his dream girl. So basically these are all personified version of these iconic sneakers. Like if these sneakers had a personality and a face, like what this should look like.
It's really a transformation because sneakers themselves go through a long history of design. When people who collect sneakers look at them, things pop up, things are important to them,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so you're kind of remixing that and turning it into fashion. Like take a shoe, for example, you have the Air Jordans. How do you turn that into clothing? What's the process?
It's not, my thinking is not really about turning it into a clothing. It's more about giving a personality to the shoe. So that's why you can kind of notice they all have this like attitude to it. And so basically I visually deconstruct these shoes and kind of puzzle it back into a way where it showcases the best part of the shoe. And that's why they're posed a certain way. It's a very strategic and timely process that I go through to make sure it's displayed exactly the way I want.
Are you constantly, following the sneaker community and the collectors and chatting with them to find out what parts of the shoe they love, what designs they find the most iconic or things they're looking forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, especially for sneaker culture, like the people who are involved in there, like being authentic is so important, I think. So, I don't want to, like, this is the way how I want to appreciate sneakers, and I want that to be an authentic, true story. So I want to make sure that I'm not just making stuff up, like just for fun or just for like the hype. I do want to make sure I'm paying proper homage to these like great designs. So I do have I do try to stay on track with the trend, and I do talk to a lot of people to make sure like, does this look right to you? Like, does this concept, feel right to you? And that feedback is like really important to me.
And as you've been doing this for a couple of years, what's been your personal relationship to that culture, and what's been your kind of appreciation for it?
It's really interesting. Like originally, all I wanted to do was like draw these really interesting concept of sneaker art that's like just different from what you see. Just wanted to do something different. And as maybe like 2 or 3 years into like drawing these things, it really made me wonder like, who are these people anyway? Like they're all made up people, but it just made me think like, this is a story of a self-worth. Like if a shoe can drive men and women so crazy that they can like get people to line up for days and everything, like why can't an actual woman do that, right? Why can't I do that? And it's the attitude that I try to portray in my illustration. That's a visual form of confidence, right? And like a solid form of self-worth, if this makes sense.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, so, in drawing these things, like unintentionally, it ended up teaching me about self-worth. Like I have to value myself so that people respect my worth too. It's like very unexpected. I think it's like interesting.
And it must be really validating because you've grown this incredible fan base. People look forward to your work. Now you've done collaboration with 3D Retro to do a 360 like a collectible based on your art, and that's a full turnaround. What's that process been like to have not just a 2D illustration, but now a full 3D representation?
Oh my gosh, it was not something I intended to do at all. I think the fact that my work lives on the internet really helped get the right people to like enter my life to collaborate, in like such a perfect way. And so my first toy, the Air Mag Girl, 3D Retro reached out to me saying like, we love your work, and I think it just makes sense for you to, I have no background in 3D, but they were like, this is what we can do. If you're interested, let's work together. And I just hopped on the boat. And to be honest, I didn't know what I was signing, myself into, but I'm so glad I did that. And this year around, I released my second toy, the Off-White Girl, which turned out amazing. So I'm super excited. It was like thinking about my art in such a different dimension, literally, but I'm so glad I did that, and it just like opened door for me creatively. So.
And that's just the best part of DesignerCon.
Yes.
You're connecting with fans,
Yes.
connecting with other artists working in different mediums, and kind of like discovering new things about your own artwork.
Exactly, and it's always unexpected. It's something that I like never even thought about, and I really appreciate, this like people crossing in this convention.
Well, really appreciate your work
Oh
and
my
your time as well. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.